I'm Courtney. We're a family of 5 trying to grow as much of our own food as we can, and we raise chickens. Our kids wanted to name our little backyard farm, so we did. It's called Heart Pine Farms. In our previous video, we were preparing our upstate South Carolina garden and our chickens for an unusual blast of cold air in the single digits along with high winds. We'll show you whether the cool season crops in our garden survived or not and whether our efforts were worth it. We hope you'll be able to use our experiences to help you while you're trying to extend your growing season in your garden. It's December 23rd and it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I want to give you a weather update since we made our video yesterday. Our weather station has recorded a max gust of 25 miles per hour today. The temperature dropped early this morning. We had a low temperature, I think it was 24 or 25. I'll have to look at the graphs and see. That has been a sustained temperature all day today. I think it got up to 27 degrees today. Inside our hoop house though, it only got down to about 35 degrees. So it stayed about 10 degrees warmer in there last night with the addition of the frost blanket that we added. Now tonight it's supposed to drop down to 10 degrees and I'm guessing that it'll probably be a few degrees colder where we are right here. So it will be interesting to see what temperature it will be inside the hoop house. Hopefully it's not going to be below 20 or 25 for more than a few hours, because that's when the lettuce plants can really be damaged. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I do not want to do this right now. It is very windy and cold out here. Now looking at everything else, we covered all of our carrot beds with frost blanket, and it has blown off in the wind. So I'm about to take some stakes and really stake these down, because tonight when it gets down into the 10 degrees or single digit range, that's when we're a bit worried about these. So this one right here, we have a sheet covering them, and this stayed on fine, but I think the winds are supposed to continue on through the night, so we're gonna really have to stake these down. If you want to take a look at the broccoli plants over here, you can really see, I'm really glad that we harvested our broccoli, because these definitely took a hit with the cold temperatures. The cover crops are still hanging on, but it will probably be a different story after tonight when the temperatures really dip down there. The garlic also is still looking okay, but again, that's going to be another story after it gets really, really cold tonight. So I'm going to try to come out here really early tomorrow morning when the temperature bottoms out to do an update. We'll see. I think these are staked down pretty well, so I don't think the wind's going to tear them off again. Okay. Yeah, these are the parsnip plants. I'm afraid that they probably were nipped, but I think that they're gonna come back though. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve, and it's around 9:30 in the morning. We had a low temperature of 3 degrees this morning at 5:30, and the low inside this hoop house was 27. So with dual protection in there, with the frost blanket and the hoop house on top, I think the lettuce is going to survive. That below 30 only happened for a couple of hours last night based on the weather station graphs. So we're not going to open it up today. It's only supposed to be around freezing today, and the wind is going to pick up again, so we're not going to open it and for the next couple of days maybe, or maybe tomorrow when the temperature is above 40. We'll see. But you can see right here the condensation froze. You can see these little ice crystals on here. But even with temperatures dipping down into the single digits, I'm pretty confident that we can grow lettuce throughout the whole winter, even when it is that cold. But I think the key is that dual protection in there, putting the frost blanket on top of the lettuce along with the hoop house. This is a little random broccoli plant that we have growing right on the edge of this raised bed right here. And we left it just to see how it's gonna survive, and it looks pretty good right here, so we'll see how it does. But we didn't protect this at all, and I don't know, some of the leaves look like they've been nipped a little bit, but it might just keep growing. It's a little trooper there. Cover crops are crispy. They've got some ice crystals on them. We'll see how they do a little bit later when it starts to thaw. Garlic. There are definitely ice crystals on the carrot greens if you peek in there. That was to be expected though. The parsnips and the carrots will still survive because the tap roots underneath are still fine. So when the temperatures moderate, they will start growing again and they'll be just fine. But that was to be expected. We just covered them up, just to see what would happen. But the chickens will have to wait a little while to have some fresh carrot tops again. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s again a week from now, so they will be taking off again, I think. We made sure the chickens had plenty of dry bedding in their coop to help keep them warm. We also made sure they had plenty of food since they weren't going to be out and about for a couple of days. Their water froze, so we brought pans of fresh water out to them often. We didn't set up a heat lamp in their coop because of fire concern. When we went out to check on them early in the morning, they were down in their run and seemed happy as can be. It's Christmas Day, and we came outside and opened up the hoop house and removed the frost blanket, and our lettuce survived single-digit temperatures in South Carolina, down to 3 degrees, and the lettuce survived. Last night it got down to 13, so it was a bit warmer. But it got down to 27 according to the sensor underneath the frost blanket in the hoop house. But we're just excited that it survived and we can keep growing it. We're also out here checking on the carrots. We uncovered everything today so that they could get some sunshine. It got up to about 40 degrees for a high today and nice and sunny. And we're gonna harvest a couple of carrots for our Christmas dinner here. Okay, we're harvesting some carrots here. We had to break up the soil a little bit because the surface of the soil and the raised bed is frozen. So we just took a trowel and loosened it up a little bit, and then we're gonna pull a couple of these out just for our dinner tonight. Beautiful Danvers carrots. Okay, pull it right here. All right.
Mommy?
Yeah.
Mommy, she's eating it. Mommy, she is eating it.
She is. There's Bob.
There's Mom. Mommy, she's eating it.
It's going to get down to 19 tonight. That's the forecast. And of course, it'll probably be lower here, maybe about 15. So we're just going to cover it back up. Well, the sun is still out and we can get some heat in here, but I don't want to take any chances since the temps will be down into the teens again. This video was sent from family in Michigan during this blizzard. This winter storm affected a big part of our country and looked very different in many locations. In our growing zone, temps in the teens and single digits are not very common, so it takes extra preparation to save the food we're working hard to grow. Sometimes it's just out of our control despite our efforts, but we try to do our best, learn from it, and enjoy the harvests that we do have. In our next video, we'll show you how we built this hinged hoop house on top of our raised bed and how you can possibly grow cool season vegetables throughout the winter depending on your growing zone. There are a few tricks to doing so, and we will share that next.